We match.
We're back.
Yay. Tattoo talk with Kat and Kat. I think we're gonna do like an intro thing eventually so that we don't have to keep saying that. Not that it's a lot to say, but
It's us.
yeah. Yeah, it's us. How have you been? I missed you.
Missed you.
Yeah. It's been, well, I mean, I've obviously seen you.
Yeah.
But when was our last podcast? Was that a month ago? Holy fuck, was it a month ago? Mm-hmm. Time flies. I don't think thank you so much. Oh, I thought we were going to do a little, you just took control. That's very kind. Kat just opened up my water for me. The last one was on March 1st. And what are we, the April something, 6th, 10th? April 10th, it's spring. Not feeling the warm weather.
It's not warm. It's still cold. It's still cold. It's cold.
It is not. We're blessed with the spring that we are having.
Mm-hmm. I just want to live where it's like hot and I can't breathe. You know?
A little suffocation. Okay. All right. I mean, we can see what we can do. But
we'll move the shop?
Global warming. I think it's going to take care of itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's going on? You want to bitch about anything?
I want to bitch about tattoo schools.
Yeah, I like that. Like right before we started filming, Kat was like, I want to bitch about tattoo schools. And I was like, oh, tell me. No, wait, save it. I had self-control and held back so that everyone could hear it. You know what, Riley? Maybe I told you there was somber energy in here. Maybe I want to whisper. Is it? I think it's close enough. Okay, I will talk. We're gentle little
I haven't seen her.
beings, and I am very fragile. We're just respecting that and being very quiet.
Being respectful.
Yes. Go at whatever volume you'd like.
I'm so mad. It started, I'm not name dropping, but it started where an artist that we know, their shop is now doing tattoo schools. It is not being marketed as a tattoo school, but they're doing like 12 to 14 day learn how to tattoo. Your machine is provided.
That, I didn't, if Riley's over there, just so everyone knows, I didn't throw that at Riley. What the 12 to 14 days you're learning how to tattoo?
Oh, it's worse though, because I like decided to Instagram tattoo school.
Oh, don't do that.
Some of them are as little as a 2-day crash course on tattooing, teaching you how to become a tattoo master.
Master. 2 days.
And that you will learn everything you need to do in 48. The most I've seen is like 120 hours of tattooing.
I want to take it. Can we take it?
No.
Come on.
Because I want to know how they start financially.
Okay. What?
So there, you know what? There's day courses that I saw that are like 10 a.m. until 6 p.m., $150 per person, an extra $100 if you bring a friend. But if you do the crash courses that I've seen online, they range anywhere from like, it was like $1,200 for a 7-day course or $3,500 to like $5,000 for a 2-week course in tattooing. And you get a certificate and everything.
A certificate that someone just made up on Procreate?
I'm sure.
We need a board. We need to be a Red Seal trade. We need to have some sort of body that we have to speak to. That is wild.
Granted, not everything I've seen is in Canada. Like a lot of the ones that I see that are like popping up in the States, they do have to have state licensing as a tattooer.
Oh, okay.
But it's the same kind of thing where it's not an apprenticeship. You have to attend tattoo school and receive a certificate. And I've seen them as little as 2 days long.
Attend so in person, or some of these online?
No,
That's
the ones
better.
online I understand because I've even done them where I purchased them and it's just like your videos.
That's different because I love those.
I think it's completely different, but I think it's just like, let's set you up for 2 weeks in a tattoo shop. You're learning everything there is to know about tattooing from a tattoo artist in 12 to 14 days maximum. I've seen, I also looked at another one earlier where there was like a 3-month course and a 6-month course, but they start at like $10,000.
So you're just paying for an apprenticeship that's
You're
like
paying
really
for
sped up.
Yeah, you're paying for.
Okay. That's a lot. I can't believe someone that we know is doing that. That's very interesting. The ones that I think have great value are in a different category completely. So they're for people who already have the skills of tattooing, and it's to do portraiture, color portraiture.
Yes.
And we're talking like the big guys, like
Yeah.
or
So
girls.
like that one artist that I showed you before that does the crazy, like beautiful Baroque, high contrast realism color florals, Eden Art Studios or something like that.
Okay.
They do a course for tattooers, and I don't know if it's like they do a conference. There's like a winter conference, and it's for tattooers to go. You bring your equipment, and she pulls everything up on screen. They do live tattooing, and then they go person to person and teach. But I think it's crazy when it's like no art skills necessary. We provide the machine. You leave the course learning everything you need to become a tattooer.
Not possible.
That's not possible. I'm
No.
8 years in and I learn something new every day. There's no
Oh, yeah.
freaking way that you're teaching someone everything they need to know about tattooing in a 1 day or a 14-day course.
They're setting them up to fail because it's not like they're like, okay, come take this course and then we hire you. So now you're on your own. It seems like it's designed for basement tattooers, for people to then go and do it on their own. You need to be, in my opinion, in a studio where you're around people and you're able to learn
Constantly.
ongoing. Yeah. I think that's
Ongoing.
imperative. Like it's, regardless of how long you've been tattooing, there is so much value in being around other artists. And I couldn't imagine hiring someone who took a 14-day crash course and being like, yeah, come on board. You're a master. I'm going to hire you on as a senior artist.
Yeah, like granted, some people do have artistic talent outside of learning tattooing, and they probably do pick up a machine and are fantastic at it. But I don't think that's the
Fantastic.
I don't know. I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
But maybe there's someone out there who is.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Benefit of the doubt.
But like, I just can't wrap my head around it, and it has me kind of fuming because then like in the same sequence of me seeing these tattoo schools pop up in Southern Ontario, I'm also a couple feeds later seeing shops that have been up and running and highly successful closing their doors because they can't afford lease or because their artist picked up and opened like a private studio. Like things like that where I don't want to say the industry is oversaturated because our city isn't.
no, we're very fortunate
But I can
here.
only imagine how mortifying it is to be a tattooer who's been in the industry for however long,
Yeah.
having people hop up with like their portfolio, which is maybe only a couple sheets of not second skin,
Yeah, the fake skin.
fake skin,
Yeah.
and
Fake
like
skin,
a couple
whatever.
doodles that have been like copied over and over again, being like, this is my portfolio. Like, it's not.
Yeah.
And you don't know.
Yeah.
It makes me crazy.
Yeah, you raised a really good point with the bigger cities because they already are so saturated. Like if you even go into say, so Toronto, for example, you go to Kensington Market. How many tattoo studios are just in that one little area?
I don't even know. I haven't been to Kensington in so long.
It used to just be Black Pearl is like
Okay.
the main trad shop that's there, that's been there for forever. And then now there's got to be like at least five to 10.
Just in Kensington Market?
Yeah, so when I lived there, which is what, like 6 years ago, I think there was like 4. And if you like think of ones that would be like in people's homes or whatever, like it just seems like it's everyone's renting a space on the back of a shoe shop, right? So yeah, you already have that massive oversaturation in a market. And then with overhead costs being so high, when you have slow months, those hurdles to get through are a lot different than when you're in a small town. You can kind of make things work, but when it's, oh shit, we may not be able to pay our rent or our insurance or whatever it is because it's the overhead is literally, I don't know, 10 grand a month just in your rent. Like how do you, I don't know, you know, how do you get by? And you have, like you said, these really good artists that are kind of getting screwed.
Yeah, they're homeless now.
Yeah, that's fucking
Not like
super.
physically homeless, but like work homeless.
Yeah, that's brutal.
Yeah, I don't like the world in itself right now. Everything with inflation is already garbage, and I've seen a lot of good artists close their books and say, "But I'm sorry, this is where I'm at. Like I'm finishing tattooing."
Yeah.
And then up pops a tattoo school.
I, get- the thought came to mind where I'm like, you can't knock them for wanting to be an entrepreneur and make more money, but they're not realizing the repercussions of what they're doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's also kind of 10 grand. If you were actually learning the trades, I think it should even be more than that because it can be an extremely lucrative industry, and historically it was very hard to get an apprenticeship and learn the trade. So what you're gaining if you were truly learning how to become a master in that short time, let's say hypothetically that did work, that's like a lifetime of a skill set that you just learned for 10 grand. Like people go to school for how long and go into debt, or like there's a reason that an apprenticeship is the length that it is.
Yeah.
I don't know, like even when I first started tattooing, and probably when you first started tattooing, like it was near impossible to get an apprenticeship. Like it was very, very, very hard. I guess survival of the fittest. I don't know, if your work's good enough, it shouldn't be a problem. Like all those things, I guess, can reign true. But at the end of the day, like there has to be some sort of, okay, what are we doing? What are we doing here?
I don't know. It makes my like blood boil. And it's not even like, I was thinking about it. I'm like, it's not even like a competitive thing. It's literally like, just build your portfolio in drawing, go to a reputable shop,
Yeah.
do the time.
Learn properly, because like there's no way that you're telling me that someone's going to learn in 2 weeks and then they're going to be able to be unsupervised tattooing someone and then they get a blowout or something happens or the machine stops working, or that they're going to be able to have the pattern of not having someone look over them to be like, hey, don't touch your sleeve right now, or don't touch that, that's cross contamination. Like the risk of the bloodborne diseases, the risk of going too deep and seriously damaging someone's skin or putting your own life at risk, people forget how dangerous it can be in that regard.
Yeah.
So I think without having that constant supervision, or that, whatever, I don't know, whatever time frame it should be necessarily, because everyone's different, but you need someone who's skilled looking over you for an extended period of time to be like, yeah, I'm not seeing any cross contamination, or I'm confident that, you're pulling this 100th line perfectly
And
straight.
you can't even do that on synthetic skin.
No, that's like there's so many factors that fall short for that to be a successful 2-week plan.
It's not possible. Like
no, not from start, not from scratch.
Tattooing over moles, tattooing scars, tattooing aged skin, tattooing like
so many things,
different parts of the body.
Yeah.
It's like there's no way you can teach on a couple millimeter sheet of paper everything you're going to encounter.
Yeah.
Because every client is different. Like there are days where I'm so confident and then I get to the client and I'm like, this is gonna be interesting.
Yeah. Different skins, different people don't sit well, someone passes out. Like there's so many things that you need supervision for that come up organically. Imagine 2 weeks into tattooing and you had to tattoo a throat or hands, or like there's areas that make it so challenging that you need that supervision for, or just that time and experience of understanding how the skin works.
I'm still stuck on like the 6-month course. I was like, yeah, maybe, but like minimum, minimum 6 months. And that would have to be like every day. You can't tell me that that's just like a short period or like an evening course.
Yeah, that's like you're just paying for an apprenticeship. My buddy in Montreal charges for his apprenticeships.
I get that too.
Yeah. And it's like a full contract, and like it's very much run like a school in that regard. I mean, I don't know enough about it to speak to it actually, but from my understanding.
But I understand that as someone not wanting to take the financial burden of an apprentice.
Yeah.
Charging them as if it was like attending college and charging them tuition.
Yeah.
And then they're there constantly learning. But I feel like the time frame isn't that short. Like it would be a year.
Oh yeah. And it's tough because everyone learns so differently. So it's the same issue with how the school system is, where they assume that every kid's going to learn the same way or at the same speed or whatever it is, right? Like you have to adjust and shift to the individual, to the artist. Because so many of us learn or benefit from different styles of learning.
Yeah. So could you imagine doing that with 10 to 15 people sitting there at a table all lined up?
Oh yeah. And there'd be multiple people learning from, oh my good. No, The more we talk about this, the more I'm like, no, nah. I am trying to figure out how it's going to work. But yeah, like I said, unless it's, you know, you're already an artist and you're going to learn a specific thing.
Yeah, that's like at tattoo conventions. You'll have seminars.
Yeah.
I've attended seminars.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
You're already an artist. You're going to learn from someone who's significantly better than you. You want to know what the hell it is they're doing that makes them who they are.
Yeah. Yeah. What's your secrets?
That's cool. But like, nope, you don't have to draw. You can be completely brainless to the tattoo industry, but we're going to make you a tattoo master in 14 days.
The not drawing thing is tough. I know there is a very few select artists that are actually quite good that don't know how to draw. But how do you come up with anything original? Like, don't we know someone?
I think so, but like, I get.
Yeah, I have a hard time with that though.
Same. But there's also like, I understand if you're just aiming for photorealism, where you just take your stock imagery and tattoo it. I understand that that might be the approach. But what if you lose your stencil?
Such a good point. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. You're fucked. You better hope you know how to wipe properly.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. So
they've been flooded, like the tattoo schools have been flooding my feed the last couple of days, and it's been making me a little bit nuts. I think that's my phone.
Yeah, are we getting a call? Should we talk to someone? Is it an alarm?
I'm going to answer it.
You want to answer it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Fucking go get him. Is Chris going to be on the podcast again? Okay. Tattoo school is out. Full circle.
Ins and outs. Bye.
Bye. Out.
No, they irk me.
Okay. When can we register for this local number? I want to go.
Right now.
Right now? Registry is open?
It's not local.
Oh.
You want to go to Toronto?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. There's like you said, like the seminar or doing a specific course I'd be game for, but
yeah.
Painting, that's a good one. You can learn how to paint online. You can take an art class. Those things make sense to me.
Learning to tattoo in 14 days makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
8 years in, I'm still like, I would redo my 2-year apprenticeship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just in general, a different studio, maybe go down south or something.
I don't know. But that makes sense. Like, if you want to learn everything, do it the right way. Do it the right way.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Go to a studio. Someone will hire you eventually. Move if you have to.
Yeah.
I don't really think many people are taking on apprentices because of stuff like this right now. But if you want something bad enough, you'll make it happen. Like, I'm very much a true believer in that. If you're willing to put the work in, build the portfolio. It's same with, I know that there's other factors, like someone has to take the chance on you and dedicate that time, and someone has to take you on. Whereas, I was going to make the comparisons like, hey, if you want to learn how to play guitar, just put the time in, continually practice. If you want to learn anything, you have to have someone that's going to do it for you. But if you put that time in and build your portfolio, make the connections, fucking show up at the studio that you love.
Well, that's the same thing even with guitar. How could you learn guitar in a 2-week crash course? I don't think you could.
Well,
I couldn't.
I wouldn't want someone playing at my event that learned in 2 weeks, let alone tattooing me permanently.
Yeah. And
there's also these, people that do like microblading or permanent makeup who are like, I'm a tattoo artist now. And I'm like, no, you're not. You're not. You're not a tattoo artist. You're not. It looks like shit. Stop it. But I mean, maybe there's an odd person that looks good. I don't really know anyone that does that, but it's like, you hear about people just crossing over. Like, I wouldn't go and try and do fucking permanent eyebrows. You took a course that was how long? Mm-hmm. And you still haven't like really done a ton. And you did your own for how long? And you've been fucking tattooing 8 years. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean?
Some things just shouldn't be crossed over. Yeah. Like, sure, you can make like a centimeter line across somebody's like brow line to create a fuller brow. But how does, you're going to do a butterfly now? You're going to do anchors? You're going to throw color in there without...
Do you have an art background? Like, do you... I don't know.
Who am I to judge?
Yeah, and I mean, if people are looking at the portfolio, I mean, at least those people you would hope are gonna be cleanly because they have that background. So at least there's that foundation.
Yeah.
Which is something. But I still don't love it. Maybe that's me just having too many opinions. Who fucking knows?
Yeah. Boo. Tomato.
What's that from? Yeah, my brain doesn't like to work.
You throw tomatoes?
Performers, so we're talking like musicians
like on stage.
Or like on stage. So anyone, okay, actors,
throw tomatoes.
Plays. People just fucking bring tomatoes just in case it's shit.
Boo! Tomato.
Yeah, you're the first. Well, it was one of you who had said that, and I was like, "Oh, that's catchy," and I thought you just made it up.
No.
You should have just ran with that, and I would have been like, "Yeah,
made
they're
it up.
funny."
Yeah. Brains are rotten. That was my other thing about tattoo schools.
Let's hear it.
You're charging like $3,500 to $5,000 a head?
You charging tax on that?
Are you charging tax on that? Tattooers, do your taxes.
Oh, fuck to your taxes. For sure. But like, how are you
guys out here just accepting cash and not paying taxes?
How do you own anything?
Right?
How do you... What?
Like, I understand that comes down to capitalism and like, fuck the government shit. But like, how am I going to buy a plot of land to live off grid to start my commune if I don't do my taxes initially?
They'll come for you. They're worse than the mafia.
Like,
they'll fucking harass you.
They'll find me.
Yeah, okay, fuck capitalism, blah, blah, blah. But that is the reality. We live in Canada. This is the nature of where we live.
It's garbage.
So, it is garbage. But it's like, okay, but this is what it is.
It is what it is.
So you want to do whatever? I don't know.
Baby, I'm saving money so I can get the fuck out. Like, I don't know when, but it's happening.
I don't want to.
Mom. No, it's, everything's on fire.
Yeah.
Everything's on fire. No one has money. Life is too expensive. They want it to be so expensive that people can't life anymore. I think they're hoping people unalive themselves so that they don't have to deal. Population control, literally. Like look at the housing. Like
yeah, it's fucking
there's
crazy.
a housing crisis.
Yeah.
There's the crime rate's up.
Yo, wild. Yeah.
I can't get a house. I can't afford a shack right now. I can't afford land. Land is what a house should cost.
Okay.
Right?
This is my issue with the fucking government because do I care more about queer rights and other things? But I'm getting literally fucking bent. But you can't vote for the enemy. We're not going to talk about politics because this is tough. But like,
they're going to bend us anyways. Either side's bending us.
Don't trust white men. Look at America.
I'm not saying that any of them are good, but I'm just saying that it's like it's a tough decision to make at the end of the day because we're fucking here. So you're like, what do you do? Like, that's fucking the carbon tax, all this shit. And I'm like, oh, I also care about the environment, but I want to be able to afford to live. But then on this side, I'm like, oh, I want someone to be able to go and get help when they suffer with addiction. But then on this side, I'm like, I really don't like where my tax money is going and they're taking so much of it. I agree. I would be fine with how much I'm paying taxes if I got to see it actually going to my own community.
But
so either way, you're fucked.
It's going to fund wars.
Flip the table. I don't know. I just... And then I want to just be ignorant and fucking ignore the whole thing anyways. And I already am ignorant to it because I really don't know enough to even be speaking about it right now.
I'm feigning like 70% ignorance and I'm like, my kid's 18 in 11 years. I can detach myself then, you know?
Fucking what? Arizona with the abortion shit. We're talking right now. We're getting into did you guys hear about this? They literally made it illegal to get an abortion unless you're the person who's pregnant's life is at risk. Like, you are going to die. So we're talking fucking incest, rape. Like, you have to have that child. What is happening? There's just Floridas everywhere. Texas is the new norm. What is that show where they wear the bonnets? What the fuck is that? Don't tell me. Fucking Handmaid's Tale. Jesus. No. Like, I wouldn't look it in a bonnet. I can't do it.
Our time is. I would.
Kill myself.
I was gonna say I will kill myself, but also like you know how they have like the fields where they go and they work in the factories in the fields. I won't even make it that far. They'd be like, boom, abomination. Like,
I just thought of Field. It's like a kink dating app. Have you guys heard of that? Anyways,
no, I'm
sorry.
No.
We're gonna go into a field.
Kool-Aid.
Don't talk to me about killing myself. I've never considered that until literally this week. So, haha, not funny. Katrina's back in therapy weekly because she lost her goddamn mind.
But you have a fresh child.
Oh yeah, like I would do it 100 times over.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
get the suicide pact now. I'm like, yo. Brutal. It is very scary.
Yeah.
I like to think that y'all are joking all the time.
No.
However, if you guys get those thoughts all the time, I am so sorry that you deal with that on a regular basis because that changed my shit. I was just like, intrusive thoughts. Yep. That is very scary. Like the hormonal shift that you go through after
I was going to say it's probably just
terrifying.
a hormonal shift, and I'm hoping for you that it just disappears for you.
It's settled down a lot. It's not gone, but it definitely is a lot better. Like I wouldn't be able to be here talking if it was.
That's fair.
Right after my poor husband is just such an angel,
sweet baby angel.
No, like
but yeah, your life changed significantly. You have a bless. Good God, you have a 2-week-old.
Oh, he's 2 weeks today. He's perfect.
He is. That's a
Not
perfect
to put
baby.
that pressure on him, but
He's perfect and he doesn't even know it.
Oh, it's a boy. Not that anyone cares, but well, balls, not sans balls. Is what
Balls.
Happens. Balls.
Every client has asked.
Really? That's so nice. That's so nice. I had it. They cut it out of me. It was traumatic as fuck.
You want to talk to that? Yeah, I saw your inside.
The video is heavy. It is quite amazing that we can do that now. Is fucking nuts to me.
Yeah.
Oh.
But like we're close now. I've seen
You can like see into my body.
Yeah.
It is crazy. Doctors, good for you. Thank you, the locum OB. I don't even know your name that did my surgery.
I didn't know that when you have a C-section that they take all the organs out and then they stuff them back in. And then if you have another C-section, the organs might not end up in the same place again. They just kind of like pack them in there and hope they fall into place.
They're like, we'll figure it out. You almost feel like phantom kicks. I remember you and I were talking about
that's
before.
your organs dropping.
Just going back. Or when you go to the bathroom, terrifying. No one fucking warned me of that shit. No pun intended. No. So scary.
Yeah.
You have to like hug a pillow because you don't want to use your abs because you feel like it's literally ripping out. Mm-hmm. And then your uterus contracts when you have a bowel movement, which is so scary. Yeah, no, I'm off laxatives now, but it was
so good.
Real dangerous for a hot minute.
Yeah, they're like, oh, we'll send you on your way. Here's a bunch of T3s, some Advil. Here's some laxatives. What for?
Yeah. You'll find out.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't give me T3s. They're like, here's Advil and Tylenol. Which is good.
I mean, that's nicer.
That shit sketches
I guess me saying
anyways.
T3 is a little too heavy, but yeah.
No, some people do, I think.
I can't remember. It was like 8 years ago.
Yeah.
I dissociated the whole thing.
I understand why now.
Yeah. I remember like 20 weeks on.
You know, it was very traumatic, to be completely honest. And there's a lot of things that I wish more people talked about. I do get you put it like in this box and you don't give a shit because you're so happy. Mm-hmm. Not everyone has to feel happy, but there is, and that's fine if they don't. In my experience, I was like, there's such peaks of highs of like, holy fuck, like this is a miracle. I can't believe that like I made this human. And there's so many things that I'm like, I would do that all over again and it can be way worse and I wouldn't fucking give a shit. But then you sit there and you try and separate it and you're like, no, I need to talk about this in therapy. Like that was extremely traumatic. You know, oh, my birth plan didn't go as planned. Yeah, no shit. But it's still like not being able to experience having a contraction, or like I didn't even get to try. Like I wasn't even fucking dilated, and they were like, "Yo, you need an emergency C-section." Which the emergency part, it's not like you're cutting me open right now. Like that is such a scary thing, and I don't understand the medical field enough. And maybe they need to say that so that you figure you're like, okay, we have to do it right now.
Make a decision.
They're literally rolling the cart in for me to get like all the IVs and to get ready to literally like. They told me and they were like there to do it. I'm like, does this need to be in this exact moment right now? Can I call my midwife? Can I have fucking 20 minutes to process this? And they gave it to me, and it was fine because it wasn't literally an emergency, but I did need to have the C-section like then.
Yeah.
So I was like, fucking all right. Yeah, I was so unwell. But I will say that was, considering that it was one of my more positive experiences with people that work at the hospital.
I was going to say at our local hospital for sure.
The nursing staff were fantastic. Like everyone was really good. My midwife is, I fucking love them. They're great.
Not to ruin your joy, but want to know why?
Why?
Babies.
Oh, because they're so fucking cute.
It's population.
I don't get it.
At the end of the day, it's just more. It's more babies.
So they want...
They're just nice to mothers because babies is more humans.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I think they're probably also nice out of fear, because I could see why they're like, don't let them get a hold of your skin. I wasn't like that with Anthony because he was keeping me sane, but I probably said some offside shit to some people for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Even afterwards. Like today, probably.
What the fuck was that?
Yeah. But yeah, I've always heard people talk about, PPD, postpartum depression, or people say like, oh, the baby blues. To me, it's tiptoeing around a very big issue that is way more severe than people as a whole, as society is making it out to be. There's something like 60% of parents that give birth report intrusive thoughts, report suicidal ideations. That's only or report thoughts of harming their child. And that's only of those that admit it. My midwife was like, I think it's actually more like 80. Yeah. But it's 60% of those that admit it, because there's so much shame. And if I hadn't done therapy, the amount of therapy that I've done pre-pregnancy from my previous disorder, I don't think I would have said anything, because I can remember sitting in the hospital and about to get discharged and thinking, oh my God, I can't believe I'm feeling this way. I can't believe I'm having these thoughts, and talking myself out of telling the midwife. And I had this whole like out of body kind of, not psychotic, but I'd never experienced it before, where I was having these intrusive thoughts and feeling so low, but having no control over like pushing it away. And then my mind being like, you need to feel shame about this. You're a mom. Like, how could you be thinking these thoughts? How could you be wanting to harm myself? And it's not that I truly thought that I was going to harm myself, but just having those thoughts was fucking terrifying. Yeah. Because I'm like, how is this happening right now?
It's a major life change. And then the emotional waves that come with it because of hormones. It's a lot. And yeah, like we've said that in the last podcast, like it's something that definitely needs to be spoken to more, because yeah, it is like the happiest moment of your life. You're giving birth, you're bringing your spawn into the world. But at the same time, it's like there's trauma around the delivery, just not understanding like what your body's going through. The brain does some wild shit that like, I don't know. I'm glad you're back in therapy though, because that's good, because it'll be something to like look into if the baby blues or the PPD it like wafts, then you still know to look for like PMDD for your like later periods.
So you're into, like, what is the difference? So is
like PMDD is like the week prior to your period, where you get your intrusive thoughts, your suicidal ideations.
Okay. I knew that.
I never used to have that until after pregnancy.
Oh, interesting.
So I feel like my postpartum was so bad, and it lasted for almost 4 years, and then it just carried on, where it was like the week before my period. It was, I don't know if it's just like, I don't know, because I already hate getting my period, but I don't know any person that gets their period is like, this is great. I love it. Fine and dandy.
Yeah.
But just when it's like becomes a mental thing where it's a battle every single time, you're like, I wonder what's going to happen this month. And then it catches you off guard.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. I didn't realize that would be a shift, but so many things can change after you have a baby. Like thyroid issues. Like there's like, I mean, a number of things that can
there's
that
like
can
foods
change.
I don't touch anymore. And I ate everything in my pregnancy, and there's like I'm weird with textures and shit now. Like so much changes. Your body does weird shit.
Yeah, women, non-binary folk, people who give birth to children need to be fucking worshipped. It is fucking crazy that we can do that. And there's a part of me that's so incredibly proud of myself to be like, you made life. You
did
went
the
through
primal
that.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So primal. Even Sanga was saying that when I was breastfeeding in the studio the other day when I was here. It is so primal. Like you're literally producing milk. Like it's...
And then the shift in your milk, how it like changes and adapts to like help your baby is wild. Like baby's sick, milk changes to help baby. That's why that's why you don't give medicine to babies. It's wild.
Also, the amount of pressure it is to breastfeed, I am very, very fortunate that I have had no issues breastfeeding. I have great milk supply. Awesome. If I didn't, formula. A fed baby's a happy baby.
Yep.
Right? Like you've said before. In the hospital, right on, over everything, it talks about how important breastfeeding is and how's the baby being fed breast. Like it's, and I understand that they want to push it, and I'm sure that there's medical reason behind it. But if you can't breastfeed, the amount of shame that some people feel unnecessarily, and that is nothing of your doing, like your body just, you're not able to, or you don't want to, that's no one's fucking business, and you shouldn't have to feel like that. And I feel as if it's other women that are putting that on you. Like it's that judgment, and a lot of people asking, oh, how's breastfeeding going? Assuming that I'm breastfeeding. I am, but it's like, what if I couldn't? And that was something that was really affecting my postpartum, and I was feeling a lot of shame around. And it's, like we're always assuming these things, or even, I'm kind of veering off here, but there was a couple people we went to go visit. It was like a bigger group, and I was kind of off talking to them, and they were asking me how I was doing. And I don't want to be trauma dumping on people. So I say, physically, I'm getting much better. Because I don't want to be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go off my shit. But you know what I mean? Like,
you're making dark jokes now. Welcome to the club.
Turning over a leaf here, the dark one.
Sorry.
No, it's real. It's real. It's like it. Anyway, so I was saying, I'm like, oh yeah, and I made a comment about like my milk coming in, and I was like, I thought I was losing my mind when my milk came in, and they just kind of looked at me, and like it just felt so awkward, and they changed the conversation, and I was like, oh, okay, like that. It's fine if someone feels uncomfortable talking about that, and maybe I just read the room wrong, but why do we feel so weird about? Maybe they didn't experience it, which that's a blessing for them, but it shouldn't be this, oh my God, like don't talk about that kind of thing.
That's something I'll never understand, is why people just can't openly talk about literally anything with consent, because it's 2024.
Yeah.
Like you literally have the world at your fingertips. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
don't be weirded out about breasts and breast milk. Just don't.
I do like how big and full they are. I'm gonna say it. Like
big boobs.
They're hard. You wanna come feel right now? They're not too bad. Okay, the fact that I literally have a weekly update of how fat my face got while I was pregnant, which is fine. Everyone's face is gonna get fat when they're pregnant, and I don't need to shame myself, but it's just right there for you to see. So like, yeah. Anyways, well, I'm not saying that as like, you know what I mean? Like we all obsess over things that we fucking shouldn't. Like,
yeah. There was like a 6-week mental health decline that you can physically see on me. And I was like, whoa.
Oh, really?
Buddy.
Let's check back. What was going on then? That checks out.
It's on the internet now.
We're all mentally ill. But there's something to be said about, we're so unfiltered on here, and it's so fucking all over the place, but I love it. And it's like, you know what? I'm going to talk about how scary it was to take a shit after I gave birth, because
They
why
need to
fucking
talk
not,
about
right?
that more.
Like, I don't know.
They need to talk about that more.
You talk about a lot of things more, and I think knowing that a lot of people don't really listen to this, so it kind of makes me feel better too. Like, it's not, we're in Sault Ste. Marie. I don't give
care.
a shit
1,000 people
about
could listen to it right now. I'd be like, I'm talking about your shit.
which one. Fuck yeah, we'll do another one, and I'll really get graphic about some stuff if people want.
Yeah, Angela, I'm sure, has questions.
Yeah. No.
She's gonna ask you every detail.
Ew. It's
Yeah.
going really well though. Other than that, very horny.
Well, that's never really changed for you, has it?
Yeah, I'm really glad that it didn't go away. I was nervous about that. And then I was cleared to have sex because I wasn't bleeding for 3 days. And I had to fucking text my midwife because I had texted her to ask if I could have sex. And she's like, you cracked me up, and was like making fun of me in a polite way. And then I was like, I'm all of a sudden bleeding again.
Mm-hmm.
So does this mean I can't have sex? And she's like, that's correct. Project.
Oh, because you wouldn't know if it's your period starting just yet.
No. So there's something about the uterus still being accessible, and that's what's shedding. So you can't have anything internal. I could have external, I could masturbate and do all that kind of stuff. But I just really want to like make love with my partner because I'm like, you were such an angel, Anyways, it's when you have distractions and then you're going through a period of rough mental illness and you can't use your distractions, makes it tough.
Oh, for sure.
But we push forward. We just talk about it. Away you go.
Oh, goodness.
He's perfect. Yeah, so his name is Vincenzo. We call him Vinny, Vin, Enzo. Vin. Chenzi. I like
Chenzi.
that. That's really cute.
Vincenzo.
Vincenzo. And then I really hope he has like blonde hair. And then they're like my pale complexion. And they're going to be like, yeah, Vincenzo. That's what we went with. Yeah. He's really
Absolutely. Why not?
cute. Yeah. Cousin Vinny. Yeah, Cousin Vinny. Also Vincent Van Gogh. There's just, yeah. Vinny.
I was thinking that I actually think that Vincent too.
Oh, Vincent.
Vincent would be like that's a whole name within itself. But
Yes, Vince for sure.
Vincent or Vincenzo.
VTO.
VTO. Vito.
Yeah. Who was that? My dad saying the VTO thing? His initials? Is it
Yeah.
Vito? What is Vito? I thought that meant like no. To cancel. Yeah, Vito.
Oh, Vito. Like, it's
It sounds, yeah.
Katrina, social hour. What do you want to talk about, buddy?
Yo, cool. It's nice to get out of the house. Like I need to find balance in my life. I'm a very all or nothing person. I'm aware of this. I'm working on it. It has suited me well in some areas, because I get something in my head. Riley knows more than anyone. I'm fucking annoying as shit. And I'm like, we gotta do this right now. But then it gets done. So there's that.
Productive, if anything.
Yeah. For how many times I'm like, we're going to do this in a year. And then the next week it's happening. But literally the room we're sitting in. Yeah. But having said that, I need to find some sort of balance because there's a part of me that's like, I am staying home forever. You're perfect. And I'm never letting anything near you. But then I'm like, I need to go back to work full time right now. So I'm excited. Holly, our person that's helping us care for our child, came over last night and we were chatting, and she's fucking amazing and is very flexible. So I think I'm going to start in May coming back part-time. We'll see. Don't fucking hold me. I guess I'm going to be held accountable because it's on this. But
on the internet now.
but I'm excited because I was like, okay, that way I'm forcing myself to take another month. I'm sure I'll still come in and fucking tattoo as I have been. But if I, start coming back actually part-time and then do full-time. 5
days.
It was 5 days post-birth. I was tattooing. 5?
5 days and 9 days.
5 days and 9 days.
Yeah, the Monday and
It needed to happen. My brain was taking over.
Yeah.
And this is you people specifically, this environment is very much my safe place. So I was like, I need to not be at home. Thankfully, my husband's able to work from home. So that's super helpful. But yeah, with a T and Vinny with a V. Oh, Trini with a T. But yeah, no, it's just that much more of a reminder of how much I love what I do, how fortunate I am for each and every one of you that's a part of this family. It's where I want to be. So coming here just makes me feel that much better. And tattooing, creating. I'm excited to paint. I have that commission piece, the eyeball.
Yeah.
For that local person that I'm gonna start. So I'm really excited. I sent them off the draft. So I'm pumped to just create and feel human again.
Have you been working on your wait list of designs?
Yeah, I was bugging Riley about that the other day. I started Buddy's fucking dick spray. Sorry. I love him. No, he's so good. He's the most authentically himself he's a him if I've ever met one.
Yeah.
I don't know what this is. What is this?
These pronouns, what is?
Wait, what is?
To understand. That's
fair. Yeah, so
you, sir.
I started working on, it's like a snake with some skulls, and I put some flowers in there. We'll see if he allows me to put the flowers on, but maybe a big thigh piece. But he's great. So I started that, and then I have my list of waitlist people, and then I think I have some flash that I got to put out. The one piece I already did on that chick that was really nice. Who's that? That fucking chick, Karina. Yeah, thanks, Karina. Come back for more. So then we'll
finish that.
We'll go from there.
The cyber sigillism throat.
Oh, that's fucking cool.
Yeah.
I want to see it.
I'll show you.
Okay. That's fucking badass.
Mm-hmm.
Who is that person? I love when there's people in our small fucking town.
She's a friend of Sarah's.
Who's Sarah? Kelly?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really sweet.
Yeah, I love to see heavily tattooed people. People of like high authority jobs or whatever, like that nurse that got that neck piece. Not that that's really a high authority, but like people who have like mainstream jobs who are having visible work. I'm like, that's fucking sick.
And then just authentic and very unique work. I'm like, yes, let's do that. Thank you.
Yes, let's do something different.
Yeah.
Oh, this is so random. Guys, I was in the fucking shower crying, like hysterically having a moment. I was like, my milk was coming in and I was just in a really bad state. And the amount of like shame that I felt for being tattooed. And I'm like, Vinny's going to be fucking bullied because I like look different. Like I'm going to start crying. Like it was crazy. And like I've never questioned the way that I appear or who I am, and I've worked like really, really hard in therapy to be proud of who I am and not give a shit and just be authentically myself. And to have that moment of questioning who I am was like, it was fucking crazy. It was really brutal.
I'm sick as fuck.
Yeah.
But it's like, we shouldn't live in a society where we have to worry about that, where like a kid's going to be bullied because their parent looks different or because, like because I'm fucking queer. Like that shouldn't matter. Like it shouldn't be.
I mean, it's going to happen, but it's just one of those things where you just stay true to yourself. I can't wait for the day that Vinny tells you that he loves your tattoos, because that's what keeps me going. Is like Lorelai goes, "You're beautiful. I love you. I love your tattoos, especially your face one." I'm like, "Fuck yeah, my kid thinks I'm cool, and that's all that really matters." Because I had the,
I love it.
yeah, they're gonna be more woke. I had the same issues when I was like, when Laura was a baby. Like I had the same things, like looking at myself, I was like, maybe I shouldn't have. I considered getting like laser tattoo removal, and if anything, then I got like 200 more tattoos. And then I'm,
went the other direction.
I went in the other
Complete
direction.
opposite. Ran.
I'm gonna get top surgery. Like I don't give a fuck. Like as long as she is happy with me, nobody else's opinion fucking matters.
And I know that. Like I know that. The parents being happy makes the kid happy. Like I'm not going to change who I am. I think I can already tell that parts of my outlook and things will change when you have a kid, as they should in some aspects, but not of like your fundamentals of who you are. No. Like And it's, like, and there's a part of me that's like, oh, I want to get back and work right away and show them that, like women can do that, and that there shouldn't be that pressure to, like sometimes when people ask me how much time I'm taking off, and I say I'm not really taking a lot of time off, like I have a bit of like shame or embarrassment around it because, you know, even my mom today was visiting and she's like, so like, would you want to be a stay-at-home mom? And I was like, that's not really the life that I have. It's not that I don't want to be. I would like two things to exist at once and to be around my infant child 24/7. But I also, that's not who I am. That's not how I'm built. Like I'm very driven and I need to be fucking doing something or I'll lose my goddamn mind.
Yeah. I thought the same thing. I thought I was going to be a stay-at-home mom, and then it was like Laura's 3 months old, and I'm like, nope, opportunity for a tattooed apprenticeship. Sorry, I'm out of here. I'm going to work full-time. I'll figure it out.
And that's what worked for you. And I think that's, you know, I just hope like one day he's, you know, like proud of me for doing that. And I don't know.
He will be.
The fucking thoughts that you have are nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Just get a face tattoo right now. Just commit to the bit.
First tattoo back.
Like,
So
like I want to
excited.
finish your back, but if you want your face done, we'll do it.
Please finish my back. I am so excited. I just want to be more tattooed.
Right? Okay.
Anyways,
We're ending her.
what are we going to call this podcast? This was such a mishmash of shit. Cat and Kat have feelings. Good night, Moon.
Good night, Moon.